Shall we jump right in?
Please, yeah.
Okay. Omid Singh, hi.
Hi, Galina.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. You're giddy this morning.
I'm very giddy. I mean, just life has been so chaotic. As you know, I got a dog, and she's a handful, man. I didn't know how tough this was gonna be, and it's so tough.
What's tough about it?
Everything. Getting her to just be a normal dog, getting her to like just eat, go on walks. She's just like totally like locked up on me while we were walking today. Like she loves walking to Erewhon, and then when it's time to walk home from Erewhon, it's impossible. Like she just locks up and she just stands there. I'm like, "Come on, you got to walk." And I don't want to pull on her, so I just stand there, and then that's like 2 minutes. Then we walk like 5 steps, then she locks up again. Then it's another 2 minutes, then she walks another 5 steps, then she locks up again. Took an hour.
Well, because you're taking this fancy ass bitch to Erewhon. Why don't you take her to Ralph's and see how she acts?
It's not a supermarket thing. Everyone just happens to be the closest one. If there was a Ralph's, all I needed was coffee. So thankfully, I didn't get anything that was like refrigerated or anything. I just put the coffee beans in my bag, and then this dog, she just like, I mean, I love her. There's no question about it, and I just want to learn how to train her properly.
Well, just get her a Haley Bieber smoothie. What are you doing?
Uh, if only that would fix it. But now she knows which stores in Culver give treats.
Oh.
So she knows exactly which stores to hit up to get treats. She's really smart about it. I mean, I guess all dogs know how to do that, but she has to hit every single spot that gives a treat before she can go off of her walk, before she can come home.
They're so manipulative.
They really are.
Dogs will figure out how to manipulate you. And I mean, I'm okay being my dog's bitch. That's fine.
Yeah.
He has this whole routine. He can technically jump on and off the bed. He just chooses not to because it's nicer for him to have me do it.
Yeah.
So we have this little routine in the morning where I'll swing my legs over the side of the bed and then he'll sit in my lap and wait for me to set him down on the floor like the little prissy prince that he is.
I mean, yeah, I don't get it. I I don't know. I love it, but it's just been really hard.
Did you lose sleep?
No, that's the one thing I haven't lost. She'll sleep until 9.
That's impressive.
She will sleep until 9, and like she doesn't have to pee first thing in the morning yet. Like she'll definitely cuddle and chill and just be fun. But sometimes these walks, I mean, I just want to know why she just won't keep walking.
I think sometimes it's certain stimuli, right?
I have no idea. I have literally no idea. I've done the whole treat thing where you try and plant the treat every 5 feet and you give it to her, so it's like some sort of incentive to keep walking. And I'm just trying my best. And then now I've like I said, I forgot that I was supposed to come here. So I did the whole walk, and then she's just like chilling, looking at me like, "Oh, okay, we're friends now again, right?" And then I was just like, "That's what you think." And I took her and put her in her crate, and she's like, why are you doing this to me? Why? I promise I'll never do it again." And she's just like crying her little eyes out because she's just not used to it yet. She's just not used to any of it, I guess.
They're supposed to like the crate, though. That's supposed to be like a den animal. Nature takes over, and then that's their comfortable little cubby that they go into.
I'm pretty sure she's comfortable everywhere else in the house except for the crate. She's more comfortable in our pantry or on the couch or in a bathroom or on the bed. But at the minute I put her in the crate, we did the whole treat thing in the crate as well of like, "Come on, it's safe. Look how nice it is." And then still she gets in that crate and something happens. Maybe it's some sort of past trauma. Did I tell you about the cat that swiped her?
I think so, but go ahead and tell everybody
This
else.
cat, our neighbor's cat, swiped the dog, and ever since then, her whole personality's changed. And I completely understand it. Like it was traumatic because she's a little golden doodle, and everybody loves her. Like literally, everybody wants to pet her and stuff like that. No one's ever been mean to her in her little 8-month life. And then our neighbor's cat one day, I saw it and I was like, "Oh look, it's neighbor's cat." And the cat like rolled over on its belly and it was being all sweet and being like, "Oh look, I'm just your neighbor's cat." And then Aja, my dog, went up to her, or to him, Pippy, and like sniffed his balls or something, and he absolutely did not like it. And she brought out her claws and just swiped his little. He swiped her
Mm,
little head.
no. Oh.
and she whimpered, and then ever since then, now she's terrified of our neighbor's cat. And so like when I open the front door to get Aja to go out for a walk, she like stands there like, is the cat gonna come out? I'm like, the cat's not gonna come out. I'm like,
Why was the cat outside in the first place?
it's an indoor outdoor hybrid cat.
Like a Prius?
It's like a Prius of cats. Yeah, it just does a little indoor, little outdoor. And before I used to think it was a stray cat because it used to come to my old apartment and it would like hang out in my patio and I would just like, talk to it and stuff. And then I found out it's our neighbor's cat. I just couldn't believe that had happened. I was just like, I'm such a letdown to this animal. I just let her get.
If that's the worst thing that happens to her in her life, that's a pretty good life.
But it's only been 8 months. I don't know.
It's okay. Don't be so critical. Like, puppy parenthood, it's just so easy to be a perfectionist about it, and
Yeah.
you can't. Things are going to happen.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I just want her to be happy, you know?
She is.
I know.
I met her. She's such a
I
doll.
know.
She's very, very happy. And eventually, you'll trust her enough to not even have a crate. And that'll be like a nice
Oh, yeah.
phase to step into.
She's already there. I'm only doing the crate because I'm still worried. Like, I know if I just left her at home, she would just sit on the couch and go to sleep.
Right.
But she could also chew on a carpet or she could do something like that right now and I can't leave her alone.
I noticed with my dog that it's the first phase of him really calming down was at a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then the next phase of him really calming down was at the 2 year mark. And now it's just coasting. And
That's
he
great.
rarely has what I used to call witching hour anymore, which witching hour was between 6 and 9 p.m. So it was 3 hours really.
Yeah.
And it was like nipping at my ankles and going crazy and getting zoomies. And I do kind of miss it, as chaotic as it was.
Yeah. I feel like those are all dog traits in some way. Like Asha literally just sleeps all day. And then she'll play for like 10 minutes with her monkey. She got a little monkey that's got like, little pulleys. And then the rest of the day she just sleeps. She eats, changed her diet. I'm just trying my best.
You are.
I'm just trying to do whatever I can to make sure this little puppy has a nice little happy life.
Dog owner to dog owner, I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I lectured you on pet insurance, which you
Oh,
had
yeah.
already been on top of,
Oh,
which
yeah,
is good.
yeah, yeah. Which
That's
has
always my
paid
call.
back in dividends already.
Yes.
Like already it's been huge. If
Yeah.
you don't have pet insurance, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I wish pet insurance was I wish regular insurance was as good as pet insurance.
I
feel like
know. I would have seen a doctor this year by now.
I know. Yeah, seriously. My dog has seen more doctors than I have right now.
Do you take good care of yourself? Do you go for all your checkups and stuff? Because I feel like men have a tendency to ignore their health care until there's something that you can't ignore.
I will go to the doctor and will always be disappointed when they're just like, you're great. Everything's fine. I'm like, how? How is everything fine? I don't feel like everything's fine. They're like, no, you're good. And their gauge is like, oh, your blood pressure is normal. It's like, that's it.
Yeah.
I've done all the checkups. I've done all this stuff. I just changed my insurance and I went down a tier. So I lost my really good doctor. And I went to my new primary care physician who is 81. And as soon as I walked in, he like had nothing for me. He was just like, hey, man, the science in medicine changes every 3 months. So how can you even be on top of everything?
He said
And I
that.
was like, what? And he goes, and then he's like looking at me like, he's like, guess how old I am. Come on, guess.
Stop.
I'm like, well, this is 65. He goes, 81. He like lowered his mask. He goes, 81. And I was like, this is not what I'm looking for in a doctor. He's basically just being like, yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry. You're good. And I was like, I have a stomach ache. He goes, I have a stomach ache. I'm like, dude, that's
Relatable.
he's like, "Oh, you have a stomach? I've had a stomach ache since I moved here. I'm like, oh, great.
81. You would think he would have made enough money as a doctor to retire, or do you think he just likes telling people about his tummy ache every day?
No, I think it's just like a front or something. I think it's like one of those things where he's like, I need to do something, and this is what he's doing. It's like he was barely a doctor. I mean, CVS pharmacists have been more helpful than this primary care physician.
But good on you that you're going every year.
I try to. Yeah, why not? But doctors apparently don't know anything.
I don't think they know a lot. I think the trick might be to ask a nurse.
Yeah,
That's who's hands-on these days.
yeah, totally.
I hated my doctor. Thankfully, I lost him because I switched insurances. But 2 years in a row, I went in, I got my blood work done, and I don't think I saw him at the actual appointment. He would just Zoom me in 2 weeks later to talk about my blood results. And I naturally have high cholesterol. I don't know if it's Chernobyl or genetics or what's going on, but I mean, I'm in pretty good shape.
You
So
ate Chernobyl?
I ate dirt as a child, full of radiation. It's
Yeah.
fine. I survived.
That higher your cholesterol?
I don't know what it is. There's high cholesterol in my family. And at the Zoom doing the follow up, he talked to me like I was obese. He goes, "Have you tried working out?" I work out like 5, 6 days a week. He's like, "You should watch your diet."
You'd be like, you should be a better doctor.
I know.
That's crazy.
Truly talking to me like I was 500 pounds, telling me that I need to try some movement. And a little bit in his defense, just a tinge in his defense, I was eating a decent amount of fried food here and there. Now you're like, I'm siding with this
Yeah,
doctor. But I eat lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. These days, there's not really any fried food besides maybe my guilty pleasure is Taco Bell, like
Really?
once or twice a month. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the worst thing I eat, and that's the frequency at which I eat it is like once or twice a month.
I had Taco Bell for the first time in a decade
Whoa.
recently at Saul Trujillo's rap party at the Comedy Store for his new special.
Oh, hilarious.
I think
Did
him
he
or
cater with Taco Bell?
he did. He catered with
Wow.
Taco Bell, and I had a cheese quesadilla, and it was incredible. It
Yeah.
literally was so good.
There's a reason it's the only fast food I eat.
I mean, it can't. But why? It can't be. It's not that good. It's
It
not
is,
where it
though.
could be the only fast food.
So I don't eat beef. So
Okay.
hamburgers and cheeseburgers are out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're talking about, like, when I say fast food, I just mean like McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King.
Popeyes,
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. I don't mean like fast casual, which is more in the realm of like
Shake
Chipotle,
Shack,
Shake Shack,
Chipotle.
right? Which I don't really frequent those either, but I specifically crave Taco Bell because they have this cheesy gordita crunch,
Mm,
and I swap out the beef, which probably isn't even beef and would be fine
no.
if I ate it, but I switch it out for potatoes, and it is
Oh.
just phenomenal. And the only reason that I'm not going to get it today after we're talking about it right now is because I'm going to Vegas in 2 weeks and I'm going to dress
Go to the
skanky, so
cantina?
I need to like,
Oh.
oh,
I thought you were
no,
gonna say
not go
gonna
to
go.
the cantina.
Gonna save it. Go to the Taco Bell cantina
Uh-huh.
on the strip. You know which one I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
If
go to
I ever
Vegas
get
in 2
married,
weeks? Yeah.
that's where the bachelorette is going to be.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That would be so fun.
it will be. I am going to Vegas in 2 weeks. I'm going to Lovers and Friends. Have you seen that lineup?
Is that the hip hop one?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Nelly and T-Pain, who's,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the way, low-key amazing.
Oh, high key, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He
T-
actually can sing, and he was hiding
Yeah?
it from us this whole time. And then I just discovered on TikTok he's like doing a cappella, and I'm like, whoa, why was he? I kept seeing people say T-Pain didn't need auto-tune, auto-tune needed T-Pain.
It's true. He has that one song right now that's how we ballin'. I don't know if you've heard that song.
Mhm.
It's like him and Snoop Dogg, and I listen to it all the time just because it gets me in the mood of just like 4, 5 strippers in the B&B party. It's such a good song. It's such a good song.
I'm so excited to see him, and then I'm so excited to see Ludacris because not only do I love his music, but Fast and
Fast and
Furious
Furious,
fan
of
over here.
course.
That's gonna be like a big celebrity sighting for me.
Yeah. I think I've seen Luda before. I think I saw him at Coachella. I think he was there. I think I've been in the presence of Luda.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
And then of course I'm gonna make the rounds and go to the pool parties. And
of course.
Steve Aoki is DJing a pool party at MGM, so
Yeah.
we're gonna do that weekend too.
Wet Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very cool. Who are you
excited.
going with?
My friend Heather.
Oh, I know Heather.
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
It'll be great.
That'll be fun.
I haven't been to Vegas since we went for EDC. When we
man.
did stand up in front of a bunch of people who were either still on drugs or coming off of drugs in a tent that was 100 degrees at like 3 p.m.
Yep. All facts. I mean, I loved that set though.
Oh,
That
yeah.
set was so fun.
It was such a
Just
good time.
seeing people going from like sleeping to like opening one eye and looking at the stage and then opening two eyes and then being like, what's going on? There's comedy right now? Huh? Just everyone waking out of their little naps was just so fun.
It was. I would do it all over again.
Yeah. It's coming up. It's like,
It is coming up.
is it not the same? No, it can't be the same time as Lovers and Friends.
No, but it is May.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, I would do it again too. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell friends I either want to do EDC with a group of friends or I want to do a cruise ship with a bunch of friends where I'm not working.
I would love to do a cruise with a bunch of friends.
Yeah. I would love to do Alaska next year in May.
Yeah.
with like a bunch of people, and we just do the trip from Seattle through Glacier Bay and all that kind of stuff. I've never done it. I've never seen it, but I heard it's gorgeous, and then come back to Seattle.
I wonder though, is there any shot at seeing northern lights at that time of the year going to Alaska?
I have no idea.
Mm.
No. I'll just go with no. I think that's
I would
better.
do that cruise too. My dad did that cruise. He loved it.
It's not even that crazy expensive.
No, it's
And
not.
all these cruises, there's always like a buy one get one, and then you get a third person in for like
Hmm.
a dollar. Like it's like okay, yeah, sure. I'd be down for that. I feel like that would be such a fun little trip with everybody. But Abby's like not down. She like doesn't want to. I don't know if she's like crazy cruisy. She's like, why don't we just go to Europe instead? I'm like, that's a completely different trip.
People are very apprehensive about cruises, and there's part of me that is, but also I went on one a few years ago and I had a blast.
It's fun. You're not in charge of the itinerary.
Hmm.
All the food's provided. You get to kind of like pick your own adventure in some way.
It is adult summer camp in a sense.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely adult summer camp. That is exactly what it is. Everybody congregates around the pool, around the bars, and all that kind of stuff, and it's a good time. It has to be about who you're with, though.
Yeah.
The cruise, like going to the places, is fun, but if you don't have a good cruise, like with the people around you, that's tough. Because you're just stuck with 2,000, 3,000 people, and you're going to hope that some of them are chill and fun and all that kind of stuff.
I love to ask my comedian friends, why are you funny?
Why am I funny?
It doesn't have to be childhood trauma, but
No, it's definitely not trauma related. I think I just love making people laugh. I think
that's a
that's what
very
it is.
selfless reason.
Yeah. It's the truth though. I do love hearing people laugh. I love making people laugh. I love laughing too. But there's something about it, right? It's so free. I'm not giving anything besides my words. So you just give some words and somebody laughs. It means a lot.
Was there a moment where your friends growing up like, "Oh, you're funny," or when did you
No.
realize that that was an option?
I was the least funniest person in our group for a long time because my sister and her friends were all very funny. She's 4 years older than me. And so when I was a freshman, she was a senior, and we all did improv together. And her clique, because they were older, they were just very quick, very funny. And I was learning from them. So I get most of my inspiration from that crew. And no, I never thought I was the funniest, but I always knew I was good because I loved doing improv and I was a good scene partner. I was good at setting people up. And then stand up just started happening and I loved it.
And you're traveling a lot for it.
Seems, yeah, not bad. I was supposed to go to Dubai last week.
Did you not go?
No, I did not go. So a few weeks ago, the promoter hit me up being like, "Hey man, you've only sold 3 tickets. Like, do you want to just not come?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. I'm not flying all the way to Dubai for 3 people." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So I canceled the gig, and the day I was supposed to land was the day that Dubai flooded.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Wow, how crazy is that?" Thank God I didn't sell tickets because like it's a good thing I'm not famous because you know
Maybe it would have been canceled
it
anyway.
would have been canceled. Oh, 100% would have been canceled anyway. So it was like so lucky that nobody wanted to see me. So I didn't get on a plane and travel all the way to Dubai. So that was great. I mean, crazy things like that. I've been traveling a good amount, but right now I'm at home. I'm at home for like the next month and a half
Nice.
and then back to Vegas.
Did you see that all that flooding happened because of cloud seeding?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I know. And then I love it that like this whole time we're like, oh yeah, we're in charge of the weather, like humans aren't in charge of the weather. It's like look at these guys, look how crazy they messed that up.
They messed that up so bad.
They
And
messed
I,
that.
I think people confuse cloud seeding with chemtrails.
Yeah, very different. Yeah,
Very different.
yeah. But who says that they can't cloud seed anywhere?
I know, they can. Okay, so you made fun of me for having notes, but I have notes because I figured
Hit me.
we might we might talk about cloud seeding because I thought you went to Dubai. I just want to tell people what it is because I didn't really know, and then I was seeing those clips of all the flooding. Okay, cloud seeding is a type of weather modification that aims to change the amount or type of precipitation or disperse fog or mitigate hail. Interesting.
Okay.
And They do it by dispersing substances into the air that serve as cloud, condensation, or ice nuclei. Haven't seen that word since middle school.
Nuclei.
Mm-hmm. They use silver iodide, potassium iodide, dry ice, or hygroscopic materials like table salt, gaining popularity in their ability to attract moisture. And so normally that area gets 4 inches of rain a year, but whoopsie daisy, they got 10 inches in 24 hours.
It's insane.
They're probably like LA and they don't even have the infrastructure to handle rain
No,
like that.
everything flooded. Everything, the whole freeway system was over. All the hotels, you saw the videos of like just water pouring down. It's like, I don't even know why they did it. Did they have a reason why they were trying to seed the clouds? Did they really need the water?
They must have, but whoops.
I know. I mean, that's just such a UAE thing. Like, for them just to like go balls to the walls, be like, let's just do this without thinking about it, and then just flooding the entire city. I mean, the video of the guy that he posted from his balcony was like 2:30 in the afternoon, and it's like pitch black outside. He goes, "This is 2:30 in the afternoon. Look how dark it is." It's like that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if they can do it there, my point is like, why wouldn't they do it anywhere?
They probably do it. They just don't really tell us about it.
You heard it here first on
Back to
Spotify.
chemtrails.
Yeah, I bet they do. I mean, yeah, I bet it happens all the time, and then they just keep it under wraps. But this one was bad.
I wonder if that's what happened in LA because we've had more rain in 2 years than the entire other 12 years that I've been living here.
Yeah, who says that it only has to happen in Dubai?
I mean, honestly, bring back the drought.
What? Why?
Because I was happiest living here when it was the drought.
What?
It was so
Are you
warm.
human? Do you drink water? What are you talking about?
Not because of the drought conditions, but just temperature-wise, it was idyllic.
You don't like living in Seattle?
No.
Yeah, we're very Seattle right now.
If we were paying Seattle prices, maybe I would be okay with it.
Yeah.
That we are not.
No. I don't know if Seattle's that cheap. Seattle's got to be pretty expensive at this point too.
It's got to be cheaper than LA.
Facts, yeah, facts. That's true.
I can't with the rain. I don't do well in it. I haven't been able to go surfing since there was like one freakishly warm weekend in January, and I have not gone since.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Why don't you go when it's cold?
Why would I go when it's cold?
Because it's still there.
Ew.
Aren't the waves just even better when it's cold? Like, aren't they like bigger?
Yeah, I don't want them bigger.
You want them, baby?
Yeah, I want ankle splashers.
I tried surfing again, and I just can't get up. I gotta figure out a way to like stand up on the board. I can feel it. I can understand the mechanics of it. There's just that one little hop that I just haven't conquered yet.
You know, it's embarrassing to do this, but you just have to practice your pop-up on the beach before you go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's like an ego hit to practice it.
No, I mean, I don't mind. I would do it. I just never have. I'm always just like gung ho about like going into the water and just trying to do it on the wave.
Yeah, same.
But it is so fun. They're really, I mean, stand up surfing, they're all very fun things. Like anything that's just you and you get to like really conquer it and be happy if like, yes, you did it or no, you didn't. Like, very fun to me.
That's what I think too. I've actually compared riding a wave and having like a really good set. I feel like those are the two best highs that I can get
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah. I mean, isn't a set of waves called a set?
Yeah. Ooh, profound.
And what's a surfboard but a giant microphone? And what's the water but the crowd?
And what are the chances that I'm ever going to get paid to surf?
Yeah. And what are the chances we do both for free all the time?
Yeah. What are the chances I actively spend money
Yeah.
to do both of these activities?
Yeah. What are the chances there's 100 other people that are also trying to do it and they get mad at you if you cut them off or you get a bigger wave or get something?
Ooh, I hadn't drawn those parallels, but there they are.
There they are.
Yeah.
Surfing.
Although I appreciate that I can have that as a hobby and not even feel bad or be self-judgmental that I'm bad at it. And there's a difference between like fully knowing and understanding and not even wanting to ever get paid to surf, that I just get to have that for fun.
Mhm.
There some of that fun has been removed out of comedy for me because it is a professional endeavor.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it now?
It'll be 10 years in December.
Ugh.
That was a weighted sigh.
That was that just the sound of the 10 and like 10 years. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
You've been in it longer though, right?
Yeah.
How long?
16. I know.
16.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No manager, no agent.
It's okay. I don't know how much they do for you.
They do. They do so much. I know they do. They get you stuff. They get you gigs. They
If
get
they're at a
you.
level.
Yeah, I'm not saying I need a manager who's a 6-year-old. Hey, I want to be a manager. No, I need like
Mhm.
I need like a person who knows what they're doing.
Mhm.
I would love it. I really would. And
I know.
I would use it. I would like sell TV shows and figure out how to like get on TV more.
What's like your next goal that you want to accomplish that you would theoretically need outside help for?
Get past to the Comedy Store.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You're close. You get your
Close,
development spots.
but who knows? Close is not close enough
Mm.
because close is still nothing. Like development spots still means nothing.
I know, but as someone who doesn't get them and covets them, it means
I
a
know,
lot.
I know. That's the thing until you get it and then you realize it's nothing and then the
Mhm.
next thing you get it and then you realize that's nothing.
That's
and then
all of it, right?
That's all of it. That's all of it.
We have to figure out how to be happy without these external goals, which is so much easier said than done.
Yeah, because it's not even just stand up that's depressing, I'd say. It's like more so just general world politics that's depressing. So it's like hard to think about like, oh, what's going to make me happy? I mean, nothing.
I know, but if you can't be happy without those things, you can't be happy with them, right?
I mean, I would love to be happy with like people being better.
Yeah, but we can't control anybody else.
No. That's the problem. I can't even control my dog. I can't even control my dog. My dog won't even listen to me. How am I going to get people to listen to me?
Be the change you want to see.
I'm not proud of this, Galina, but I'm going to say it.
Hmm.
I had thoughts about kicking my dog today.
Just a gentle nudge or like a punt across a football
punt.
field.
No, not even across the football field, into a wall. I thought about it. She was standing in front of me and she wasn't moving and there was a wall. And I was like, what if I just kicked you?
You don't drag her?
No,
I drag.
I can't
I'll drag a
I
dog.
can't- She's too small. She's too small to drag. If I
But
drag,
she's so draggable.
she's very draggable. But then she does the whole thing where she splurts out like her arms
Oh.
are like this and her
Mhm.
legs are like this. I'm worried like she'll crack something. It's just I can't pull on her. I can't drag her. I want to, but I can't. I just can't drag her. She's too small.
Yeah.
If I had a big dog, I would drag a big dog and then I'd wait for it to bite me.
See, a big dog would drag me, so I don't have that option.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh, dogs. No dogs.
It's so tough, though. Like coming back to that, I'm here's what I'm trying to do to like stay sane in this industry, and I think maybe this is solid advice for anyone. Like, would you consider us entrepreneurs? We're entrepreneurs, right? We're like
Yeah.
you're essentially your own business when you're trying to
Yeah.
be an entertainer. And what I'm desperately trying to do lately is to only focus on enjoying the thing that I'm doing, the one morsel that I have control over, because I always put so much weight on the outcome and I have zero control of the outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that one thing for me is stand up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that truly, no matter what, I do enjoy. Like, will be that 15 minutes on stage where I'm just chit chatting with people. Like, there's nothing bad in that time. And I've learned recently that I'm okay trying new stuff that'll let me bomb. I feel like for the last few years, I was always like, I just got to do the best. I got to do the best. And then after releasing Little Special, I was like, you know what? I got to just try and bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been awkward. I've done a couple sets now where it just hasn't worked, and I've survived. You know what I mean? Like I've made it to the other side. I'm like, okay, just got to keep going. Avoid bombing that hard, but be okay with trying new stuff.
So you technically, I mean, anyone that puts a special out, you've burned that hour. You can't do it anymore.
It's not that I can't do it anymore.
Mhm.
I should try not to. I still mix in a bit that I've learned how to make it better since doing the special. Like in the special, I rushed it and it was still very new, is the bit about fighting with my girlfriend. And when I did it for the special, it was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long, and now it's about 5 minutes long. So I keep that in the set because everyone always says like just keep it in your set. Who watched it? Who didn't watch it? Who knows? Like, so I've just extended that. It's got some of the same beats, just with more flavor to it. And yeah, the rest of it, like the big hits, yeah, I'm trying really hard not to do them at all. I'm trying really hard just to put them away, and because also I'm done with them. I've been doing them for a decade.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
long
getting to that
time.
point with some material where I'm like, do I just do a special the way that you did it and the way that so many others have done it, where you just self produce, just
Yeah,
for myself to also be forced to stop doing certain jokes?
yeah, kinda. I mean, m- I knew my jokes were about to expire. All the stuff about terroristy things, like it just wasn't me anymore. It wasn't the time anymore. So I just kind of wanted to get it out there and finish it up. And now I'm like in this happy place of writing jokes about the dog, writing jokes about girlfriend stuff, and it feels good. I do want to learn how to write a full hour and do that. I want to know. I think I need to go out and watch more long sets because I watch every special that comes out on Netflix and all that kind of stuff. But I remember when I first started doing stand up, I would go to the Irvine Improv on a Thursday night because I think Friday and Saturday you had to be 18 and over, but I think on Thursday night you could come in a little bit younger, and so I would go on Thursdays and just sit down by myself in the back of the room and watch whoever was in town that weekend. And I did that every weekend for a long time, and that helped. That helped a
Hmm.
lot. Pacing and holding a room is so important. And there's some people that know how to do it so well, and I would love to be in the room for that and kind of absorb it as much as possible. I think being comfortable on stage is such a skill.
It really is. Although I'm so naturally uncomfortable everywhere that I bring that on stage with me, and it's kind of part of me, but I understand what you're saying. Do you have a system, like a discipline for writing and for,
For writing,
yeah?
I like to make a set list for every show, no matter what. So I have a notebook and it has my notes in it. And then, so on the right side of the page, it's all notes and like bits. And then on the left side of the page, I write the set list for that night. So basically, I go forward with the right page by like writing material. And then when I'm doing a show, I'll go back and I'll see what I written weeks ago. Be like, okay, maybe I'll try one thing from there and put it into this set list. So that way it's like two different pages, but they're right next to each other, two different times. And that set list will have, all the jokes that I'm working on and then some new stuff. And I kind of do that every time. But I don't sit down and think like I need to write bits.
Mm.
I'm more of like a something happened and I think, "Oh, that was funny. Okay, try that for like a week. Try that for 2 weeks." And just keep doing it. Most of my jokes just like came to me. Oh my god, I thought of a great one yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does a dog say when you step on its paw?
What?
Ow!
Classic.
I'm sure it's a street joke, but I think it's so funny.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a funny one.
You have a really just earnest silliness to you on
Yeah.
stage that I appreciate so much, because some people, and granted, being really serious works for some people, but just the joy in some of the jokes that you write of like how just pure they
Yeah.
are is so nice.
I think that comes from watching Mr. Bean as a kid
Mm,
because he's pure and he's
yes,
like
he is.
mischievous, but he doesn't talk at all. It's all slapstick. And from watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? Those two shows, because Whose Line was very clean and Mr. Bean was clean. And I think that's why I always think like if I can strive to be like that, I'd be pretty happy. Who are your comedy influences?
My comedy influences are like I'm such a dork about writing jokes as if they're math problems a
Yeah.
little bit. So I love one-liner type comics. I love Jeselnik and Dimitri Martin,
Yeah.
like Jimmy Carr, like anyone that writes just a super super tight short joke. when I hear a really good one, I get that jealousy of like, oh shit, you just wrote an amazing joke. Even though I would say I don't really have a ton of jokes in my set that are quite like that. I kind of do extend things out, and most of my stuff is like, anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes.
Hmm.
But I strive to just make things as tight as possible.
Yeah. I think the thing with one-liners is you work backwards.
Mm-hmm.
You have the punch and then you think of the setup.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Like I always think of like, what's the punchline? I want to get to this word. Okay, how can I get to this word in the least amount of words? And then you kind of just set it up like that.
Yeah, you and I both have done our fair share of roast joke writing, and I
Yeah.
think that discipline really helps with that.
That's my favorite thing to write for. I don't know why I love it so much, but
Hmm.
I think it's the fear of not being prepared that makes me over prepare for a roast battle, because like you don't want to just be up on stage with somebody who's just murdering you and you have nothing to respond
Yeah.
with. So it's like I'm in a process of writing right now for May 7th for the roast battle, and I'm just like every day just thinking about this girl and what I can say about her and
How you
all
can eviscerate
how
her.
can I eviscerate her and how can I protect myself and how can I also make fun of myself while also making fun of her, because I think that's important as well, some sort of balance. And it's been great. It's been a fun process. It's been hard a little bit, but every time like that new joke comes in, I'm like, oh, thank God, like there's something there now, and then you can keep building and keep building and keep building.
The dopamine hit of writing a joke that you know is going to work, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, it should work. It's there,
Hmm.
but there's still something out of your control. It's that audience. It's that moment. You never truly know if it's gonna be a home run or a foul ball. Like it could be one or the other. And but if there's what's Chris Rock's term? If there's steel in the walls, like if there's like steel beams in the walls, then yeah, it should work. But if there's no foundation, then it'll fall apart.
What's your favorite roast joke that someone's used against you?
Keith Carey, he said, Omid is single because women don't find him as charming as snakes do. I love that joke so much. I think about it all the time. It's one of the funniest jokes I think I've ever heard about myself. And
That's amazing.
it's such a funny joke. It's such a great joke. It's such a funny joke. It's got everything in it. It's got
It's got
racism.
racism.
It's got racism.
Check.
He's single.
Check.
It's got snakes.
Check.
It's such a good joke. It's definitely one of my favorites.
What's one of your favorites that you've written against somebody?
My favorite is against Alex Hooper, and it's Alex' skin is so dry. The first time I shook his hand, I thought he was giving me a pine cone. And that one is, yeah, my favorite for sure.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but there's one in this new battle
Mhm.
that it might top it. It might top it.
Oh, what a good feeling.
Yeah, it could. If it hits as hard as I hope it's gonna hit, then yeah, it should be the new favorite. But we'll see. We'll see.
I had someone, Josh Waldron, said, Galina works at Ferrari to remind men who they have to settle for if they don't buy one.
That's great.
Yeah.
At least, like, yeah, that's great. It's something to do with you. You do
Mhm.
work at Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
sometimes these roast jokes have nothing to do with the person that they're roasting, and it just becomes boring. But like
Most times I did it, everyone just called me a slut, and I'm actually really prude, so
I
it doesn't even work
know.
for me.
You can I know. I know. It's so annoying. I think guys just think like, we say this off stage, it'll
Mhm.
work on stage, but then when it's in front of everybody, the audience just doesn't like it. The audience just isn't about just calling ladies sluts and
Yeah.
B words. Are we cursing on this? We're not cursing.
We can curse on this.
Bitches.
Call them bitches. But yeah, I'll get called a whore and I'm standing up there in a turtleneck. Like, what?
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't make any sense. This last night, this guy kept saying that his girl opponent looks like a man.
Mm.
And she did not look like a man. She looks like a woman, 1,000,000,000%. And he had 4 of these she looks like a man jokes. And the entire audience by like the third one was like, she's. I didn't say it, but I wanted to say like, if she looks like a man, then I'm gay, because this is or something. I don't know. Like she doesn't look like a man at all. It was just such a random thing. Like you really have to know who you're roasting.
Yeah, because that's lazy. That's like you didn't do
Super
research.
lazy.
You got to pick up on what does this person do? Let's find out, like dig up some dirt on their family. Like
Yeah.
you got to go hard in the paint on the research side
Yeah.
in order to have that diversity of jokes.
Now, what do you like? Do you like actually making your opponent laugh, or do you like seeing your opponent be angry? Do you
I
have
hadn't
a preference?
considered that. I think I'd prefer if they laugh. I think if it's an amazing joke, they could be mad and laugh.
Yeah.
Because laughing is involuntary. So that's how you know that it's such a good joke,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is when even if they're so pissed at you and you've just brought shame upon their entire lineage, like if
Yeah.
it's a good enough joke, they're still going to laugh.
I love it. I love roast battles so much. I don't know why, but it's so fun.
It's the funnest show. That makes me miss doing it. I haven't done it in a long time. I had a run where I think I burnt myself out on it because I
Yeah.
was doing so many, and then I did like a tournament, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah, I don't think I've won in over 18 months.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I had a hot streak where I won 5 in a row, and now I think I've lost 5.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I've lost 5, something like that. It feels like I've lost 5.
Is the show still as poppin' as it used to be?
Yeah,
Mm.
every week, every single Tuesday. I mean, it's growing and growing, and it's not on TV right now, but it's still doing really well. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that show. You're someone who, and correct me if I'm wrong, because to accuse you on this on a public platform,
Uh-oh.
you like manifesting, right?
I think so.
Are you into it? Or how woo woo are you on a 1 to 10 scale?
I mean, woo-woo in the sense that like everything happens for a reason,
Hmm.
but manifesting, I think more things have happened for me when I've stopped thinking about it.
Oh, interesting. So the opposite.
Yeah, it's more of a it's like a you've focused all your energy on this thing, but it hasn't happened. Okay, let's work on something else, and then all of a sudden, oh, this thing happened, and you're like, oh, whoa, I completely forgot about this one
Hmm.
thing. Something about like putting it in the background helps instead of just staring at it, because sometimes just staring at something doesn't really change it. I mean, I
Hmm.
see a lot of people that don't change; they just do the same thing over and over again, and I think change is good. Change helps to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? What about manifesting? Are you for it? Or are you against it?
I'm for it, but I think the method in which I do it keeps evolving as I keep learning more, and lately everything has been about releasing, which is exactly what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
not to, as I was saying earlier, it's not to hang on to the outcome of something, but to like try to make myself feel like I already have it. And that to me kind of takes the crazy out of manifesting. I always say this, I say that the worst case scenario, if I'm crazy and I'm out here like doing these mantras and these I am statements and saying that I have all these things that I want,
Mm-hmm.
worst case scenario, nothing happens and I've changed my mindset to be more positive. I'm like not as mean to myself in my self talk.
Good. Yeah, that makes sense. Or do you meditate?
I do meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you pray?
I guess.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
I mean, if you pray to like a specific, I was gonna say creature,
Uh-huh.
like a being, or do you just
Hmm.
throw it out into the world, like into the universe?
I think I prayed to the universe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. The universe seems more powerful than God.
I think so. And I just wasn't, I mean, I was culturally raised Jewish, but not practicing. I wasn't bat mitzvah or anything.
Do you want to be?
No, I think like the ultimate Jewish family, they were too cheap to bat mitzvah me.
That's crazy.
No, I'm okay with not. I just wasn't brought up with it at all. And then now, in more recent years, all of a sudden, my mom is not practicing, but now she'll celebrate the holidays. She'll call me and be like,
Happy
Happy
Passover.
Passover. And I'm
Yeah.
like, is it Passover? I'm just learning right now from
Yeah.
you.
It was so funny. Abby's Jewish as well,
Hmm.
and she called her dad, and her dad was like, "Happy Passover," and Abby was like, "Oh, cool. Is it the first night?" And then he goes, "It's the only night." And then Abby was like, "Oh, I guess I didn't know." And then she hung up, and then we Googled it. It's like, no, it's 7 nights. It's like a whole week. And we're like, wait, why did he say that it's only one night? Does anybody know what's going on
I was
here?
about to have questions because I think I started hearing that it was Passover on Saturday, but then I was invited to something on Monday, and I'm like, well, it must be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then a couple other
Yeah.
days, and then I'm like,
Are
am
we
I
just
thinking
like
about
rolling
Hanukkah?
Hanukkah into this? Like, what are we doing? Is Hanukkah right now too?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I always joke that I'm a bad Jew because I don't know these things. However, I am like not deeply obsessed, but I think everyone has their World War II era where they just go hard in the paint studying World War II.
Uh-huh.
So I'm in that era. I'm
Right
reading
now you're in that era?
kind of. I think I've been in it just reading a lot of World War II era historical
What have you
fiction for the
found
last
out?
couple years.
Historical fiction.
I know that takes the
That takes it out
that
of
takes the
it.
legitimacy out
Yeah.
of it. I mean, I learned it was bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it was
The
pretty
World
bad.
War. I wonder. Wouldn't think of something called World War would have been bad.
Especially for the Jews.
Yeah, it was bad for everybody. It
Yeah.
was bad for all parties involved. Think about the Japanese too.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I know I saw
Barbie.
Oppenheimer.
You saw Barbie?
I saw Barbie and man, it really showed you how bad Japan had it.
Let me tell ya. Let me tell ya. Let me tell ya.
Excellent.
I'm just trying. Let me tell ya.
Uh, I think that more people are into manifesting than they let up.
Especially in LA.
Oh yeah.
If you go to Kansas, no one's manifesting anything. I feel like. Shout out to Kansas. But I feel like there's mostly manifesting is a very East Coast, West Coast type of thing.
It's a privileged type of thing.
Yeah, it is. It's hard also to be like, I think it's like a Robin Williams or Chris Rock joke where it's like, manifest that you're not hungry, like to a starving child in Africa. Like you just have to manifest it, and then like try saying manifesting to a starving kid. It's like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I'm desperate, that's when I do it the most, which is probably why it's not working.
No, I mean that's the good time to do it. I think you've had prayers answered, right? Where you're
I
like,
have.
please, like come on, please, and then
Goofy
boom, it
ones.
happens.
Yeah.
Goofy ones. Yeah, the weird ones. The weird ones that you're like, oh, okay, fine, I'll take it.
Mhm.
That's weird, but yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, you just never know what's gonna work out and what's not.
I've had some very specific since I feel like I feel like it took me a couple years to get into it, and then last year I went real hard in the paint, and I was in line at the airport, was absolutely gonna miss my flight, and was like, "Come on, universe, like let me cut this line," and then I just somehow got to cut the line.
Did you ask anybody, or you just like snuck in?
I mean, I did ask somebody,
Yeah.
but what are the chances?
Yeah, I mean, if you go up to somebody and be like, hey, can I please go in
Mhm.
front of you, please? My plane's gonna take off.
One of the I don't know if it's a gate agent, but the person that kind of hangs out and tells you which line to get in when you're checking
Yeah.
in was like, "Oh yeah, I see you and you have your dog and you can go ahead and get to the front of the line." And honestly, would have missed the flight if it wasn't
Wow.
for that.
Where were you going?
Austin?
Nice,
No, I didn't take my dog to Austin. Nashville.
nice.
Wait till you start flying with your dog. That's a whole nother.
That was
Oh,
the
you already
first-
did. You
yeah,
already did. That's
yeah,
right.
I've done it once. Oh my god, this dog. I wonder what she's doing right now. That's what I just keep thinking. Like, is she just crying in her little crate?
She's writing letters to the ASPCA.
He fed me, walked me, then he put me in jail. But she's so sweet. As soon as I come home now, once I open the crate, she'll be like all over me and like
Mhm.
loving me. Be like, oh, like I didn't mean any of the mean stuff I did earlier when I wasn't walking. I'm so sorry. We're best friends. Look, you want to play with the monkey? I'll play with the monkey with you. Like, you're such a little faker. So yeah, last night I went to go play basketball at 6. So I put her in the crate at like 5:45 because I saw something like, oh, put her in the crate for like a couple minutes while you're still at home so she gets used to it. So I put her in the crate. I put like my basketball shoes on. I come back out. She's shaking in the crate. Like, I was like, shaking. Like, she's never shaked
Mhm.
before like that. I was like, that's weird. And she was chewing on the carpet, and I saw her like eat something. I was like, oh my god, maybe she's choking. Like this dog might be choking on the carpet. So like, she's like shaking so hard. Like, I open the crate, and she comes out and she stops shaking immediately, and she just sits next to me. I'm like, you little faker, you little faker. And so then I put her back in the crate, and then she stopped shaking. I was like, what are you? What is this?
It sounds like Stockholm syndrome a little bit.
I don't know what it is. It's something, yeah. She's definitely has some sort of psychological issue with the crate. I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is.
Have you tried hanging out in there with her?
Our neighbor did. We have a picture. He's 3 years old or 2 years old, Weston. Shout out to Weston. And Weston was so cute. He came over the other night with his parents, and he walked right into the crate, and he sat down, and then Aja goes in and sits down next to him. And I was like, look, Weston's in the crate. You're in the crate. This is good. Like, and they hung out in there together. I haven't gone in the crate myself. Have you gone into your dog's crate?
My dog doesn't have a crate because he's a good boy.
Ooh. We're getting crate advice.
I wouldn't have been able to fit in the crate that I did have for him.
Yeah. I don't think I would fit in either. I mean, that'd be tough. I'll try, though. I'll literally try anything just to get her to be comfy.
You're not going to need it for her that much longer.
No.
That's the thing.
Like a year.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll be chill. She's a good dog. She probably doesn't even need it right now.
Does having a dog make you want kids?
No. No.
The opposite?
Yeah. No, I don't want kids. No.
Do you think we're having issues with underpopulation?
No. What? What?
I don't know. That's the new messaging now is that it went
Underpopulation?
from... I know.
We have more people than we've ever had. How can we have underpopulation?
Because nobody our age is having kids.
No, we're fine. We're fine. We're golden. What do we need kids for? We're all going to be robots in like 100 years.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't need a kid.
Have you seen those videos of the AI that's in the Vegas sphere? The robot that people are talking to?
Yeah.
How freaky is that?
Yeah. You know what's freakier is the relationships that people are now having with like bots.
Yeah.
That's like a whole new thing. Like, why have a girlfriend when you can just have a bot? It's like, that's crazy. Not crazy. I mean, people
No,
are
it
going
is
to do
crazy.
it. It's crazy. But yeah, it's like it's like that movie Her. It's like you're basically just chatting with a robot. I'm guessing you pay for it. Yeah.
You probably pay for it. Here's the thing that I don't understand about that. And granted, of course, there's all these different companies coming out that are doing like, they call them LLMs, language learning models.
Uh-huh.
I actually picked up a side hustle where I was training an LLM. So I was training this AI robot. And part of my training to train the robot was to be able to distinguish phrases. They are not supposed to say things to make humans fall in love with them. We are supposed to train them as the people on the other side of it, feeding the LLM to not say things to people that will conjure a relationship or that will give them the false sense that the machine is in love with them.
So they know what love is?
They do, or at least
And
they're
we're
trained to
stopping
avoid
them?
it.
Yeah, we're stopping them from loving?
Yeah.
Oy,
We're
oy,
supposed
oy.
to be.
Oh, this sounds like cloud seeding. This sounds like a huge mistake. This sounds like someone's not going to know what to do with this much power. And then they're going to like turn on the love on robots, and then all of a sudden they're going to have like an army of robots that's going to like protect them and stuff like that.
It's
Yeah.
probably going to be too late by the time things get really out of hand with AI. It's going to just, they're not going to be honest with us about it.
No.
And we'll know because at one point, you're going to wake up with like a horse head on your pillow and your robot in the corner like, yeah, I did it. So what?
Yeah, it's going to be terrifying. I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime, but if we had kids, our kids' lifetime for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put our kid through that.
It might be in our lifetime if we make it long enough, because think about like you and I were millennials. Like we didn't have internet growing up. And look how far that's come.
Yeah. You remember signing into AOL?
Yeah.
Be-doom, be-doom, brr, brr.
You remember that we had to turn the computer on with our big toe?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. My sister once, like the computer used to be in my sister's room, and
The computer. There was one for the whole household.
the computer, the compact Presario was in my sister's room. And one day I come in, I'm like, oh my god, it stinks. What is going on here? And then I like left, and then the next day I come in, I'm like, oh my god, it's even worse. Like, what is this? She had left a glass of chocolate milk behind the computer
Oh no.
that had started rotting, and it turned green. And my mom found it, and she goes, "What is this?" It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And then my sister was like, "Oh, that was like from a week ago." And we're like, "Oh, like so bad, so bad, so bad."
In her room, and she was just hanging out
She was
with
hanging
it.
out. She just couldn't smell it. I think because it was like gradual for her, so she was like, "Oh, this might be nothing." But then for us, it was like, "Whoa, that's a whiff," and it was bad.
Well, that's sensory adaptation at work, right? Because did you know the only reason that we can smell is to alert us to danger? So if our
Mm.
house smells, we get used to the smell, and the only thing that would make us notice is if it was different. If all of a sudden like a fire started, you can smell the fire. That's the whole point of that sense.
Hmm.
So that's why people don't know that their own houses stink.
Yeah, I have that fear all the time.
Me too.
I'm just like, What's going on? What's going on? Does it smell?" I ask people all the time. I'm like, "Do you smell anything? Do you smell anything? You
You
smell anything?
you have
Smell
to,
anything? You
because
smell-"
otherwise you won't know.
Yeah,
Are you candle guy?
not anymore. Too many
Mm.
carcinogens.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, they're candles are terrible for you.
I know.
Every time you light a candle in your house, you're killing yourself.
Yeah,
Just so you know,
slowly
slowly.
but surely.
Yeah,
Dang it.
candles are canceled for 2024.
What about incense?
I like incense.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of incense. I think incense also calms you down a little bit.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's good for you or if it's healthy or not, but incense, I'm for it. I don't have any,
Hmm.
but I do have a couple holders.
Okay.
You know, I feel like once you get an incense holder, it's hard to get rid of them.
Yeah.
They just kind
You're
of hang
just gonna throw
around.
it out.
You
There's
can't.
always that sense of, no, one day I will buy incense again.
Yeah, exactly. Incense.
See, I'm kind of, and I don't burn them a lot, maybe because I know about the whole carcinogen thing, but I have splurged on a couple embarrassingly expensive candles
I used
that
to
smell
love
so
candles.
good.
When I first quit drinking, I would take the money that I would spend on drinks and buy candles with it. I
Oh,
was
I'm
like,
not that bad.
I mean, it was just like a thing to do. I was like, I have this money. I want to spend it on something because I want to feel like, something fun is happening. And I'd buy like these like $45 candles
Hmm.
and I loved them. But then, yeah, I love patchouli. Patchouli is like my scent as far as candles go. And, yeah, I just kind of stopped altogether.
You know what I can't stand?
Hmm.
Palo Santo.
Is that the stick?
Yes.
Oh, really? I like the stick.
Oh, I can't with
You're
the
not crazy
stick.
about the stick?
The stick is so spicy to me.
Yeah, it's very spicy.
Yeah, I
It's
can't do
very
it. It
distinct.
gives me a headache.
Yeah. It clears the energy though, right? Isn't that?
That's sage.
Oh, never mind.
I sage. I
Sage is
fuck with
great too.
sage.
I love sage. Yeah,
Absolutely.
good name too. Sage.
Like for a person?
Yeah,
Or just in general?
for a person.
Yeah, I like that.
I think sage is a very calming name for a human.
It is.
Sage.
What do you feel like your biggest change was when you stopped drinking, besides the candles?
Losing weight.
Oh,
Yeah, losing weight was the biggest change for sure. That was like fun to see all that weight just fall off. It took a while, and no more headaches.
mm.
I used to get headaches all the time, and I'd have to take like 2 or 3 Tylenol. And knock
Were
on
you
wood.
drinking that much? You don't
No,
strike me as a big drinker.
no, I wasn't drinking that much, but I wouldn't get drunk either.
Mm.
When I did drink, I just had a really high tolerance, but I wasn't drinking a lot. And I would wake up though with a massive headache if I did drink. And ever since I stopped drinking, I've gotten like 2 headaches in a year. Like that's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been the big one.
I don't
Yeah.
really drink enough to stop drinking, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I have like a cocktail at dinner sometimes.
Yeah.
I never drink to get drunk. Not because of a tolerance thing. I actually have no tolerance at all. But I just don't enjoy. I feel like I get dizzy if I start to get drunk. There is no medium happy ground of like I'm fun drunk. It's just
Yeah.
I'm either not drunk, sipping on a cocktail, or I'm sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just never have more than one or two. And sometimes I just accidentally go like a month or two without drinking because maybe I'm just not out where people are.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, it's not great for you.
No.
Apparently it's fun if you're in a social setting and all that kind of stuff, but I've learned like how to still have a good time and be outside and not drink, and it's been a good experience so far. It's yeah, two
I,
and a half years.
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a stretch. I do question how much weed I smoke. I don't know if you
Yeah,
ever
too
question
much.
that.
A little bit here and there. I go like, oh, that's a bit too much, but I still love it.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it.
same. Do you take breaks ever?
No,
Hmm.
I take a weed pen with me everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
literally, like on the cruise ships and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's with me. It just is. It's my thing. Some people like smoking cigarettes. Some people like drinking. Some people like weed. And no judgment on any of those things except for cigarettes and alcohol. I'm just
So
kidding.
some judgment.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. But I like smoking weed. I'm not against it.
I've taken here and there, I'll take like a month off just
Mhm.
to kind of reset and just to, I think, try to prove myself that I'm not addicted to it or dependent on it. And what always happens is I have the wildest dreams
Yeah,
when I don't
right?
smoke
Every
for like a
time.
month.
Same. The most vivid, insane dreams. They're
Hmm.
long. They're like movies. I wonder what that is. Why is it that when we smoke weed, all of a sudden, like our subconscious, like kicks into this insane Mad Max Fury Road dream sequence. I'm like, whoa, these are crazy dreams. And then again, when you start smoking, then boom, no more dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It makes me then nervous to go to sleep,
Yeah,
but I'm like,
totally.
okay, I've committed to a month of not smoking, so let's see.
Yeah.
It makes me question whether I'm actually getting quality sleep when I am stoned.
I think you are, because you're probably just so dead asleep. What are some of those dreams? Do you know? Like, what's some that stick out?
mm, well, last night actually, and I'm
Oh,
not in
freshy.
a freshie only because it's tough to remember my dreams
Yeah.
past a certain point. But I had, because I'm only in this glorious Spotify studio once a month, I have anxiety dreams before I come here. So I dreamt that I was podcasting with two of my friends and they were like being really bad at it and they weren't finishing and they were running out of the room. And I was like, no, come back. We have to finish podcasting.
Oh my god.
I used to have anxiety dreams before roast battle. Like, if anything genuinely makes me nervous,
Yeah.
I'll have an anxiety dream before it, especially if I'm not high before bed.
It's crazy how like same but different. But like I get like a pimple the day before shooting something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I never get pimples, and then somehow some stress pimple will show up. And I'm like, how? Why the day before something special comes out? Like some weird thing like that happens. Um, I had a stress dream once of I was like in a haunted house, and there was like these three kids that were like helping me get out of the haunted house, and one kid was like, "Okay, hey, get down on the ground." And then I get down on the ground. He goes, "No, no, get up, get up, get up." And then I get up, and he goes, "No, get back down, get back down." And I get back down, and then like his face like comes in front of my face, and he goes, "Now I have control over your mind." And like everything went red. It was like, it was like the scariest thing ever. And that's one of those dreams that just like sticks with me. And when I was a kid, I'd have a dream that there was a giant, I guess, typhoon or tsunami. What's the one where it just like hangs out in front of you?
Oh.
I guess a tsunami. I don't know. It was like a giant 80-foot wall of water, and it was at my middle school, Pioneer Middle School, and I'm just like looking at it, and all of a sudden, just like it starts falling, and then I get washed away. And I would have that dream every week for a year, at least. And
I
my sister would
remember
be
the
there too.
rumor was that it meant you were growing if you had weird, like, falling dreams and stuff when you were a kid.
Really?
I mean, I'm sure it's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows anything. It's like the doctor being like, I have water dreams too. I have dreams about water falling. Like, okay, does that help? I don't know if it does.
My recurring dream when I was a kid was that either Spider Man was chasing me and he was a bad guy,
Classic.
or that I was in a room and I was laying on the floor and there was a pillow on top of me that was the size of the room.
Whoa.
Yeah. Again, Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. Is this what the podcast is called? Chernobyl.
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl remembers. Or Chernobyl begins.
Yeah. Omid Singh, thank you so much for doing this. Do you have
Anytime.
anything coming up?
Vegas a couple times, and then the DC in August. So check it out, omidsingh.com.
And what's your Instagram?
Omid Singh.
Perfect.
OMIDSINGH.
All right. Follow for more.
Thanks,
Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Galina.